Fayeteville State University using the signal of the UNC Chapel Hill system. Today is Friday, October 27th, 2017, and your radio reader this morning is Stuart Walters. I'm glad to be with you today. I'll be reading from today's edition of the Fayeteville Observer. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's weather. Like I said, it is Friday, October 27th. Today is just going to be a beautiful eastern North Carolina day. High about 73, low tonight about 50, sunny. Maybe a little bit warmer, a little bit cloudier tomorrow. High of 76, a little bit cooler on Sunday. In the mid-60s with a chance of some rain and be kind of cloudy. And then a high of only 61 degrees on Monday, so definitely some cooler fall weather. Low overnight Monday night of 40 degrees, high Tuesday of 68, and a low overnight Tuesday night of 44, sunny both Monday and Tuesday. So really nice weather with just a chance of some rain on Sunday is the way things are looking for right now. Okay, let's look at the need-to-know items for today. There's 3 of them. Number 1, blood drives. There's been quite a call for blood over the summer. So another call for blood drives. The Cape Fear Valley Blood Donor Center has several upcoming blood drives. Donors may also go by the Blood Donor Center, which is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. It is open the third Saturday from 9 to 3. All blood types are needed, however, the center has an urgent need for O-negative donors. For more information, you can call 615-5433. Upcoming blood drives include on Monday at Britt Lake Apartments, 2920 Cosmo Drive from 4:30 to 7, and Tuesday at Long Branch Church, 2868 Minnie Hall Road in Autryville from 4 to 8. Item number 2, Community Fall Festival. Good Hope Baptist Church and the Fayeteville Police Department are having a Community Fall Festival today starting at 6. The event will be at the church at 1431 Deep Creek Road. The free event will have food, bounce houses, a petting zoo, hay rides, and canine demonstrations, as well as trunk or treating. For more information, call Dion Lennon at 988-9144 or Ken Winchell at 433-1873. Item number 3, there's a pumpkin patch going on. The Cedar Falls Baptist Church Pumpkin Patch is open at 6181 Ramsey Street through Tuesday. It is closed on Sunday. Hours are weekdays 11:30 to 7:30 and Saturday 10 to 7. The proceeds will benefit the Youth and Summer Mission Trip, a week-long service project. Prices are $5 to $50 depending on the size of the pumpkin. Okay, let's take a look at today in history. Today is Friday, October 27th, the 300th day of 2017. Where did 2017 go? It's going to be Christmas before we can turn around. There are 65 days left in this year. On October 27th, 1947, You Bet Your Life, a comedy quiz show starring Groucho Marx, premiered on ABC Radio. In 1787, the first of the Federalist Papers, a series of essays calling for ratification of the United States Constitution, was published. In 1922, the first annual celebration of Navy Day took place. In 1938, DuPont announced the name for its new synthetic yarn, nylon. In 1954, the U.S. Air Force Colonel Benjamin O. Davis Jr. was promoted to Brigadier General, becoming the first black officer to achieve that rank in the United States Air Force. In 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, a U-2 reconnaissance aircraft was shot down while flying over Cuba, killing the pilot, U.S. Air Force Major Rudolph Anderson, Jr. In 1978, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin were named winners of the Nobel Peace Prize for their progress towards achieving a Middle East accord. In 1980, opera star Beverly Sills gave her last public performance during a farewell gala at New York's Lincoln Center. In 1992, Petty Officer Alan Schindler, a gay U.S. Navy sailor, was beaten to death near Sasebo Naval Base in southwestern Japan by shipmate Terry Helvey, who pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to life in prison. In today's birthdays, actress Jeanette Frey is 97. Actor comedian John Cleese is 78. Author Maxine Hong Kingston is 77. Country singer Lee Greenwood is 75. Producer-director Ivan Reitman is 71. Country singer-musician Jack Daniels is 68. Rock musician Gary Talent is 68. Author Fran Lebowitz is 67. Rock musician KK Downing is 66. TV personality Jane Kennedy is 66. Actor-director Roberto Benigni is 65. Actor Peter Firth is 64. Actor Robert Picardo is 64. Singer Simon Le Bon is 59. Country musician Jerry Dale McFadden of the Mavericks is 53. Internet news editor Matt Drudge is 51. Rock musician Jason Finn is 50. And in the Livewire section for today, 2 questions and answers. Number 1, the first question, I have about 10 cases, 30 books per case of new paperback books of fiction stories on military and espionage topics. Since I'm running out of storage space, I thought I might donate the books for our military to read. What would be the best way to do this? Since you're interested in getting the books to military members, you might want to consider donating to the library on Fort Bragg. Natasha Das Ford, supervisory librarian at the Throckmorton Library on Fort Bragg, said there is a process for donation and she'd be glad to have the books. We'd love to get the donation, she said. The first step is to fill out the Army MWR Library gift offer and acceptance form. The chief librarian will forward the form to the Garrison gift coordinator for review. The final step is a legal review and formal acceptance confirmation. Wow, just to donate books. To get started, contact the library at 643-0068. Second question, are shipping charges from Amazon or any other companies taxable in North Carolina? I had not paid this before, but the day I did and was told it is North Carolina law. The answer is it depends, but in most cases sales tax is charged on shipping. Specifically, if the vendor hires a company that ships the product, sales tax is charged, a spokesman for the North Carolina Department of Revenue said. So by law, the line item for shipping on your order from Amazon or other retailers is subject to the sales tax. However, if you independently hire the shipping company to pick up the product and bring it to you, the sales tax is not charged.
Army Sergeant Bo Burrell, soldiers describe search mission. Soldiers and an Air Force intelligence officer recalled a chaotic July 2009 firefight where one soldier was shot in the head and another had his hand shattered after searching a village in Afghanistan for Army Sergeant Bo Burrell. Their testimony came during the sentencing hearing for Burrell, whose disappearance from his remote outpost in Afghanistan in 2009 triggered intense search and rescue operations. Burrell pleaded guilty last week to desertion and misbehavior before the enemy and served life in prison. Military Judge Colonel Jeffrey Nance will decide Burrell's punishment. The sentencing hearing began this week on Fort Bragg. All of the witnesses who testified Thursday described how they rapidly executed missions hoping to find Burrell. 2 American soldiers suffered head and hand injuries on the mission on July 8, 2009. Lawyers for Burrell have said the injuries that soldiers involved in the search received were caused by enemy insurgents. A small group of Americans working with Afghan partners came under heavy enemy fire after they left a village to question elders on the whereabouts of Burrell. The unit, which had walked more than 10 kilometers the night before, was exhausted and nearly out of water. Jonathan Morita, an infantryman recalled to deploy to Afghanistan after serving 3 years in the Army, was holding his M4 rifle when he was struck in the head or the right hand by a Dud rocket-propelled grenade. The strike was so powerful it broke the rifle into 4 pieces and split open several of his fingers. His thumb was dangling, he said. He's had extensive physical therapy, including relearning how to write, and still doesn't have full use of his hand, he said. Thought I was definitely going to die in Afghanistan, Morita testified Thursday. As the firefight intensified, Morita said he accepted my fate. He said he picked up a Bible, read a verse, and then continued fighting. Morita said he moved toward an area where he saw soldiers performing medical care on Sergeant First Class Mark Allen, who had been shot in the head about a minute into the fight. Morita said he saw a bandage wrapped around Allen's head. His eyes were closed, and he was breathing erratically. The commander of the unit, Air Force Intelligence Officer John Marks, I called over the radio for a medical helicopter. One of the hardest things I've done is pick up Alan and put him on the chopper, Mark said. American aircraft passed 3 times, finally suppressing enemy fire on the ground so the medical evacuation helicopter could land. Alan survived but suffered a traumatic brain injury stroke and is confined to a wheelchair and is unable to communicate. Defense lawyers asked several questions regarding the lack of cohesive training and the hasty planning of the missions. Witnesses said the soldiers had never trained with Marks before and planned the mission in less than 8 hours. Jason Walters, a staff sergeant who was on his 5th deployment, became emotional as he described how he applied a pressure bandage to Alan's head. Moments before, he said, he saw Alan get shot and slide down the berm. Walters paused as he became emotional, choking up on the witness stand. I started treating his wounds, talking to him, told him to hang on, Walters said. But a year after that mission, Walters said he visited with Alan at a hospital in Tampa, Florida. The visit was rough, he said. Seeing him like that is something I don't wish anyone to have to look at, he said. Seeing my friend look like that is painful. Prosecutors are expected to call Alan's wife, Shannon, on Monday. Berdahl was held prisoner by the Taliban for nearly 5 years. He was released in May of 2014 in exchange for prisoners being held at the U.S. military prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. He has said he left the base to draw attention to what he believed were serious problems with leadership in his unit. Nance, the military judge, still had not ruled on the defense motion to dismiss the charges based on comments President Donald Trump made about Bergdahl last week. During his presidential campaign, Trump repeatedly called Bergdahl a traitor and suggested he receive a harsh punishment. Nance said Trump's comments would not influence his decision regarding sentencing. The hearing will continue at 9 a.m. Monday on Fort Bragg.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Bill Kirby's column for today. Mitch Colvin is giving it all he has to become Fayetteville's mayor, including a visit from Governor Roy Cooper, who was on hand Wednesday at the Metropolitan Room to endorse the Fayetteville City Council Mayor Pro Tem, who is bidding to unseat Nat Robertson, the 2-term mayor. Robertson, with some $78,000 in campaign fundraising contributions, says he's going all out between now and Election Day on November 7th to fend off Colvin's challenger. Some local politicos say the race for mayor is about issues, and some say the race is about color. It should be about common sense when it comes to leading a city and an open ear to residents of all ethnicities. Your vote is your voice in early voting now underway in Election Day, when city residents decide between Robertson and Colvin in 8 Fayetteville City Council district races. Without your vote, you have no voice in your city government. Patrick Falcon, the actor who portrays villain Harry Rote in Wait Until Dark that opened Thursday at the Cape Fear Regional Theater, better be on his game as the antagonist of the blind Leah Curry, because I know about every one of Rote's lines from the 1967 motion picture starring Alan Arkin and the late Audrey Hepburn. The play runs through November